name is Alex Wong. I graduated from Melbourne Uni in Australia, and I specialize in accounting and finance. I got my chartered practicing accounting in year 2002. In InTune, I run the business development segment. I'm also a certified partner accounting running with my wife. My wife is actually the other partner that runs the firm.
My name is Yong. I'm graduated with a corporate finance degree from University of Adelaide, Australia. My first job is with Ernst & Young, an accounting firm, for 5 years. Then I moved on to manage an internal audit department for an Australian listed company. I'm a member of Certified Practicing Accountant Australia and also a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountants. So in InTune, I am the managing partner. I take care of the sales, business development, and also overseeing the operations at InTune. So I've been a practicing accountant for the last 20 over years.
The company was started long time ago when I was still with KPMG. So during that time, I got a lot of friends who are having complication and stress when they run business. And most of their challenge is they cannot hire an accountant. So as a result, they always only hire maybe a clerk or an exec. A lot of time they have a lot of issues with their finance, payment, sometimes the money get lost. Sometimes the accounts don't close in time, payment is not done in time. So that time when they wanted to hire me, then I was thinking, how are they going to pay me? Like if they were to hire me and I charge them 10,000 for SME, how can they afford me? So I went back and I think, and then one day I got this idea. This idea just popped up. If 5 of them combine, each one maybe pay me 3,000 a month, then I can serve 5 of them at one shot. I become like a HQ accountant to 5 of them. Then I can assemble a team to actually support them, and that's how InTune was formed. In terms of the company, our team structure is divided into sales and operation. So the sales is very simple. We serve our client by understanding their need, and then we provide them the solution. In terms of the operation, is divided into 2 segments currently. We have the finance, which take care of the day-to-day accounting for our client, from payment to preparing the financial statement. Another team that we have is doing the HR and payroll service to ensure that the day-to-day of the salary and remuneration, including compliance, are taken care of. As an accountant, as a service provider, we need to be able to sync along, tune into the processes of our client and customize. For example, maybe a manufacturing client would be very different from a trading client. So InTune means as a provider, we are tuning into their needs and requirements.
The vision of InTune is to be the leading finance and human resource outsourcing provider in Malaysia. In this vision, we want to create financially driven entrepreneurs and businesses who runs their business based on numbers, analytics in driving their business to their goals. The mission of InTune is to support every small medium enterprises becoming large by being their strong finance and HR pillars for their businesses. This means that we are providing them a team of knowledgeable professionals with strong processes and workflow to support them in their growth journey becoming large. There are 3 main types of services being provided at InTune. Number 1 is the finance, number 2 is the human resource, and number 3 is the consultancy. So in terms of finance, so what we do is that we do the everyday accounting and finance functions for our small medium enterprises clients, like preparing payments, even issuing invoice, official receipts, reconciling their sales collection on an everyday basis, up to giving them a financial dashboards and accounts every month, up to on a half-yearly basis to sit with them and review their financial dashboards, and at the end of the year to take care of their audit and taxes on their behalf. That's on the finance side. So the second type of service that we provide for our client is human resource related, which means we take care of their payroll. We make sure that the payrolls are calculated correctly, accurately, on time, and in compliance with all labor laws, EPF, SOCSO, etc. And then taking care of the leave for their staff and making sure that at year end, all the forms, all the compliance matters with Income Tax Office is complied with. So in terms of HR, we also assist our clients to issue HR related letters, like when a new staff come on board, to give them the employment letter, when they confirm, and if there's any increase in salary, bonus, we help them out with all those pay.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's time again for InTune Freedom Series. What is Freedom Series? Freedom Series is designed by InTune Outsourcing to help SME or business people outside there to be able to achieve freedom in their business. So we do a lot of education here, and we also support SME to become large. My name is Alex. I'm the marketing director of InTune Outsourcing. And this evening, we have two beautiful ladies with us this evening, which is we're gonna talk about outsourcing. We're gonna talk about some of the pain that SME have, and hopefully InTune is here to be able to help you. So without further ado, let me introduce my first colleague. Good evening, Meg.
Good evening, Alex, and good evening and hello, viewers. I'm Meg as a business development professional at InTune Outsourcing.
Okay, so Meg is one of my colleagues here that help us to serve our clients and assessing their needs and to solve some of your pain. We take the pain away from you so that you can be free. Without further ado, let me introduce my next colleague, Lily.
Hi, good afternoon, our viewers. Yeah, my name is Lily. I am the managing partner at InTune, and primarily my role is also the sales director. And I work together with Meg to reach out to new clients, to offer solutions for our clients, etc. So professionally, I am a chartered accountant with CPA Australia, and I'm a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountant. It's good to see you today.
Okay, without further ado, let's talk about some of the pain. What are some of the pain in SME in terms of their day-to-day finance? Maybe let's start with you, Mac.
Okay, for the primary pain point is the lack of a proper instant financially dashboard. So some business owners are unaware that they are running their business without a proper financially dashboard, which prevents them for generating their company monthly reports. So as a result, they discover at their accounts and are not updated systematically due to the absence of a backup system. So secondly is the staff related issue. So especially when a particular accountant retire or leave the company, which can pose a significant challenge. So technical ability becomes a concern and the owner face a significant headache in a hiring and training a new staff on accounting workflow. Thirdly is a struggle in of the interpreting and presenting the financially numbers to the management or shareholders of the company. So this is I'm going to share of one of the company. This was shared by the one of the client who hired two junior staff to handle their company accounting. So naturally their financial accounts are not completed within a month. So, and the junior staff members do know how to present the profit and balance sheet report, AR and AP aging report to the shareholders during the monthly meetings. So, as a result, they always have a pending of the financially work, and this cause of the delays in the submitting the financially report to the audit.
True. I think this is usually the main struggle of SME. I always say that, it's like us driving a car. And if we are driving a car and we don't have a financial dashboard or we don't have a car dashboard, how do I know how much fuel I have, how speed that I have? To make it worse, if the accounting staff is the wheel, if we don't have the wheel, how are we going to be able to drive the car? And I think Matt shared a lot about this pain. And of course, with this pain, InTune have the Panadol. InTune have the Panadol.
Yes.
So,
Let me
Lily, as a result of those pain, what are some of the consequences or what are the impact to our SME business owners?
Yeah. Maybe Alex, let me add on. I think I've got some other points that to add on to Meg. So when I see some of the business owners, I always ask them, what are the challenges that you face? So other than struggling with struggling with staff, cannot hire, cannot keep them, don't financial dashboards. So there are some business owners that tell me, I go to the bank to get a loan, but I visited a few banks and my loans get rejected. Yeah, so this is also one of the common pain. After looking into the case, etc., we find that the banks do not, approve the loans because the books don't look right, or the books don't look, the credibility is good based on the numbers. So if you have a business, you're running a business and you require cash flow to finance your business, and the bank don't give you loan, many business owner will find themselves really stuck. They cannot grow. Yeah, they are continue in this cycle lah. So that's another pain that I see. And then one of the other challenge that I see with the SME business owners is all the different investigation, the tax audit, EPF audit, SOXO audits. The authorities are giving SMEs some headaches lah, by coming to visit them, asking for financial data, etc. So when the books are not in order, plus if the staff is not competent to deal with tax audits, EPF audits, SOXO audits, it becomes a roadblock. The business owner will tell me that, yeah, I'm already so busy, I got to deal with my customers, etc. Then I need to spend time to deal with all these authorities lah. So it's really a pain, and also they do not know how to deal with them such that they are able to close the case quickly. Yeah. And then some of the clients that come to me also because they get into a lot of penalty. Yeah, they got a penalty from SSM because of late submission. They got penalty from EPF because of late lodgements, etc. So simply because in Malaysia, doing a business or operating a Sendirian Berhad has many regulations and compliance. There are so many deadlines, and if you are not a professional in this field, you wouldn't know all the deadlines there to comply. So langgar tembok lah, langgar this tembok, langgar them tembok, then penalty comes about. So yeah, these are real challenges that is happening with SMEs. Yeah. Back to you, Alex.
Yeah. This is true. These are all the Panadols that we and the pain that most business owners have. Like I say, as a result of this pain, some of the consequences, I think Lily have already starting to talk about it. And I think with the evolvement of the compliance structure, even things like withholding tax now, even on commission are being introduced. And most business owners are very focused on doing their business, so they don't really know like what is actually happening with the compliance, which is true. If I'm a professional F&B restaurateur, how would I know suddenly there's a change in SSC, or suddenly there's a GST, or suddenly there's a requirement in terms of now I pay commission to my guy, if more than X amount I need to withhold certain thing and I need to submit for SSC. So these are some of the pain that a lot of SME has, which in part of what we do in InTune is we take away for you, so that SME, you are free to focus to grow your business. If you are Michelin star chef, continue to cook great food for your people. And I think that's what we want to focus on. So going forward is actually to going back to what are some of the other consequences to SME. So Lily, we want to talk about what are some of the other impact if they don't have financial dashboard, or they don't have this information or this quality stuff. So what are some of the other impact to business owner?
Okay, sure. So other than the ones that I've talked about, one of the really biting things, right, is the business owner themselves do not know, where do they stand in terms of their financial, their profitability, their cash flow, their overall financial stability. So they lack visibility of, what's going on in the business, and hence they cannot have timely information to actually steer the business. Maybe need to turn left, quickly need to turn left because there's a blockage at right, to actually readjust their businesses. So if that is one of the, these are some of the consequences lah. And then bigger things are like penalties, like I spoke about. So penalties means money, hard-earned money, that is hard-earned money, goes to, go wasted lah, in paying penalties, simply because business owners are not aware of, all the other compliance that is in place. Yeah. Mac, do you have anything to add on?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like driving a car, and then you have your dashboard closed. You need to go to Thailand, and then you don't know how much fuel you have. Then you saw the road, right? There's this speed camera along the whole road, and then they tell you here speed is 110, but you don't know your speed. So that's where all the penalty and all the fines come in. So essentially, running a business is almost like driving a car,
Right.
and your cash flow represents the fuel, and your speed represents the compliance. At certain place there's this speed limit that's going on. So it's about knowing some of all these things. So any other consequences you can share?
I think some of the other things is like I talk about, cannot get a loan, cannot get financing, and the bigger impact is that I can't grow my business. I'm stuck. I know I can't get more money to grow my business, although I may have a brilliant idea or brilliant product that I want to launch. So it is really about, affecting the everyday operations and growth of the business owner. I think this itself is a very big consequences to businesses lah, SME businesses. Then they continue to be in wherever they are lah, or whatever size they are, or worse off. Yeah.
I think the key is like this. There are a lot of business owners that I know. They have investor waiting for them. So when the investor asks, how have you been doing the last 6 months? How does your cash flow look like? They don't really know, like, how much sales have you done, and what kind of turnaround period you have in your stock. And I think without having all this is where they have ready investors, but they can't show them where are their performance. So I think this is where sometimes it's not just about just going to the bank. There are people who are happy to invest. They just say, okay, show me your last 6 months. Let's validate that what you say about your business is true. And they can't do that. So I think that's where it's a shame, and it's a big impact of not managing the books. Because a lot of time I work also with business owner, they think they're doing X amount. When we actually go in and do their books for them, they're actually doing a Y amount. And the biggest one that I remember was dealing with a security company. They were expanding a division Y, and they put in so much money and so much effort to grow division Y. And the revenue grew, but the profit keep coming down. So when we were tasked to do the book for them, we realized that they had a mispricing. So division Y is actually loss making. So they were being subsidized by division X. So when they shrink division X and they grew division Y, while revenue grow, they are actually making loss because it's a negative GP product. So these are some of the things when business owner, when they run their thing, they don't have number to support them. It's like really running a car without any indicator. They don't even know that, there's a leakage here, and they continue to drive the car until the point of the time the whole car just conk and break down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
These are all real stories. Stories of some of these challenges and the consequences lah, the pains lah of the SME businesses, which is very real. Yeah.
And Lily, why don't you talk about some of the SME where they couldn't even identify some of the financial risk because they don't have the books and there's a breach of internal control.
Okay. So let me think. Okay. So there's one client that I work with. Yeah. So they are in the construction industry. So when we were doing their books, etc., or when we were doing their books, really the bosses weren't aware of where the cost overrun in the company. Yeah, so they roughly know that they were making some money, but it is so borderline that they weren't very 100% sure. So when we did the numbers for them and put in all the invoices, making sure all the cost goes in, etc., they realized that for that particular project, they actually have a cost overrun. Yeah, whenever they have this situation, then they are able to, they are able to actually act lah, act quickly, and then go and renegotiate the contract, renegotiate the prices, and then relook at the materials that they use, etc. So yeah, this is the financial risk part of, if we are not having a financial dashboards. And at InTune, we are able to do profit and loss by project. And for some industries, for example, construction, it's so important to have the profit and loss by project. And if you don't want manage the project properly, it may result in cost overrun. And if not detected early, it is quite a disaster lah for the businesses.
Yeah, and I recall one of the time that we had where the staff actually stole money because they don't have a financial dashboard. The staff did not issue official receipt. So the cash collection that they took from the sales, which is cash sales, is all being pocketed, and the client lose up to 300,000. So these are some of the, when we don't have a financial dashboard to capture transaction in a way that work, I think this is where the breach of internal control is. Things like parking, F&B, even doctor business, sometimes it can be very dangerous. I have a friend in Australia, also the same thing. She left the finances to one of the girls to handle the trust account. The money was embezzled by putting in fake invoices because the same person is doing it, so there were no segregation of control. The same person issued the order, the same person confirmed the receipt of the invoice, and the same person doing the payment. So these are some of the danger when the financial dashboard are not in place, or the financial risk is all fully loaded on just a single party. Okay. And just now, Meg, we spoke about SME having difficulty in hiring proper and finance account staff. Why don't you share with us a bit more about, what do you mean by proper finance and accounting staff? Why is it so important?
Okay, many SMEs nowadays have faced difficulties in hiring accounting staff due to the technical nature of the role, which involves of the understanding and fulfilling with the accounting standard, such as like tax laws, SSM, cross-country compliance. For instance, dealing with the concept like withholding tax and navigating the SME's tax bandwidth category can be challenging. So, secondly, is the competency is another factor affecting the hiring of accounting staff. SMEs require individuals who can handle day-to-day accounting tasks while also providing advisory service as an accountant. This needs industry knowledge, understanding with accounting standards, and the ability to effectively present the financial information to the banks or investor. So, thirdly, was the guidance in the areas such as the tax audits, investigation, meeting the filing deadlines can also a cause of the challenge for the SMEs. Late filing or errors in the tax submission can lead to the penalties and further difficulties. And fourthly, as my point is, staff turnover is a common issue for the SMEs nowadays. They often lack of the star resources, operate with a small team, sometimes including only one person. When an accounting staff member leaves, one of them, it can be a difficulty to find replacement quickly and leading to the gaps in the financial management of the business. So I think the last one is the face challenges related of the employment leaves, such as like maternity, paternity leave, annual leave, COVID-19 related leave, hospitalization leave, and lockdowns. With the limited resources and a small team, covering the workload during this absence can be a particular challenging for the SMEs companies as well.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I think all this staffing issue is now a big thing in terms of the SME. I think after COVID, it's actually much, much harder to hire good staff. It's easy to hire staff, to hire a good staff, and now lawyer staff is 2 years old. So to be able to get the knowledge being transferred down and to get a team of staff that work. Of course, I think a lot of SME also doesn't know, like maternity leave has increased from 2 months to 3 months. So now anytime the staff go on the leave, like who is gonna do my accounts for 3 months, who's gonna handle
Yeah.
payment? I think this is where the biggest impact is for a lot of the SME. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Yeah, we were talking about staff. Of course, the next one will be staff retention. Yeah, I want to hear from you, Lily. What are some of the staff retention pain, and what is the implication to businesses?
Yeah. So just now Max shared about how difficult it is to hire staff and even more difficult to hire good staff. So after we have them in, then the next question is how do we keep them? Yeah. So now we see that the trends with the younger generation, yeah, I'm not that young anymore. The younger generations can be those that just came up from studies, new in the workforce. They are the 20 over years old, so this generation is very different. They have their connotation of working in a company is very different. So keeping them is a challenge because these people look for instant gratification. They like to have fun when they work. They want to work in a fun company. They want this, they want that, they want near to their house, they want good pay, high pay, and it must be a cool job. Yeah. So that's why as an employer, keeping them is difficult. Fulfilling what they look for is also difficult. And then like now, if you are like Alex said, if you have a staff that stays 2 years, it is already considered a loyal staff, compared to the Gen X then, where we hear people say, they give award to, 15 years in service, 20 years in service, etc. Yeah. So as a result, how does it affect the businesses? So when the staff come in and then they stay only for a while, it poses a big challenge because there is time cost, there is time involved and cost involved in number one, getting the staff to familiar with the business, getting them familiar with how to do their work. Companies spend money to train them, go through maybe ISO certification training, go through production trainings, etc. Go through, if they are salespeople, we actually spend time to teach them about the product, about the services, groom them. So if they don't stay long, this time costs that the management spend in teaching and guiding the staff, quickly they are already gone, and we got to start all over again. So in the end, what does it affect? It affects the bottom line of the business. It translates to loss of revenue, loss of profitability, loss of productivity and efficiency. Yeah. And managers having to spend more time training new staff rather than production or doing their work. So yeah, overall, in bottom line, it actually affects the performance of the company when the staff turnover is high. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, we SME out there, if you hear this, you're not alone. That's the good news. Even InTune is not. We are also having that struggle, and I always tell some of our clients, if even with a staff force where we have specialized team that do finance and payroll and HR, if we have turnover issue and we have a pool of staff, can you imagine SME have one staff doing finance, payroll, tea lady, reception, secretary, and I think that's where the biggest pain is, and where keeping them becoming even harder because now to get them to do multi-function is even more challenging than the past. So let's talk a bit about the background of outsourcing. Like where does outsourcing start, and how did then from there we can talk about how did Intune come up with outsourcing.
Okay, so there are many words, right, which are interchangeable as outsourcing. So when we talk about outsourcing, what does it really mean? Some people coin it as business process outsourcing. Some people call it as HQ function, and then there are different terms to the word outsourcing. So basically, outsourcing meaning in that whole company there are different departments. Yeah, outsource means you chunk one department and you get an external party to run it. Yeah, for example, in our case, the SME actually chunk up the finance department, pass it to a company like InTune, and InTune runs it. They chunk up the HR department, and then they outsource it. They pass it to another service provider to run it. So there are many clients, SME clients that I meet. They would tell me that, "Hey, Lily, your business, I never hear before, the way that you serve clients in this SME industry." So I tell them that maybe it can be new in SME, it may not be new, but I think what we can see is that it actually happens globally and even in very large corporations. For example, banks. For a very long time, banks no longer print their own bank statements. Actually, bank outsource that part of their work, to another company to print bank statements. Example. Number two, sometimes when you call the bank, you call their call center, you will realize that, hey, these guys that is speaking to me, they are not Malaysians. They sound like they are from Philippines or they are from India. So those are call center outsourcing, and it happens globally. Yeah, globally, outsourced to India, outsourced to Philippines. Yeah. So another one that I could see for myself is, for example, Shell. Yeah, the accounting finance outsourcing of Shell globally. One of the outsource center is in Malaysia, in Damansara Heights. So this outsource center, or this, we call it the HQ, for the finance, is run in Malaysia, but it actually does the accounts for many, many different countries in Europe or in US. So this business process outsourcing globally across different country and for multinational companies has been around for a long, long time. It's just that sometimes people don't see it. And then for SME, sometimes it's new to them. It's actually not new. Yeah. As for what InTune does in finance outsourcing, perhaps I get my colleague Meg, to share further. What does it mean by InTune outsourcing the finance function for SMEs?
Okay. Intune outsourcing actually provides finance service to our client, which are divided into two main categories. For small business, which the majority category is finance outsourcing, which serves medium size of business. The second category is the accountant outsourcing, which is tailored for the larger SMEs business. The specific service provided to each client depend on the job scope handled by the Intune finance team. So firstly is Intune outsourcing handle day-to-day accounting tasks such as recording financially transaction, maintaining of general ledger, reconciliation accounts, preparing the financial statement. Secondly is about the financially reporting and compliance. So Intune outsourcing company include preparing of the financial reports, including of income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, debtor aging report, creditor aging report, and other regulatory reports. Intune also assists with the compliance requirement, ensuring loyalty to accounting standard. So thirdly, the number of the accountant and managers hours is included in the finance rate card offered by our Intune outsourcing, particularly for the medium and large businesses. So this primarily covers the allocation of Intune accountants hours for financially analysis task. These tasks include of the coaching, advisory, and consultation of the financially and accounting matters. And fourthly, Intune also outsourcing implements a financial dashboard system as a part of our finance package as well. We utilize cloud-based online software to provide ongoing support for our finance operation. This software is highly advanced and offers the visual attractive graphs reports, making it extremely useful and user friendly for our clients 24/7 worldwide hassle free. As the business becomes large, the volume will grow and Intune is able to scale with you guys. So we have served clients with more than 10 outlets Also, as a SME grows larger, they will need more accountant hours with higher reporting and analytic requirements, which is known as an accountant outsourcing, where SMEs actually have a highly involved, qualified accountant, and they will look into the business processes and advise these SMEs business owners beyond to the day-to-day work.
Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, these are some of the very, very important things that is often overlooked. A lot of SME think that, to accounts is just a very simple. It can be simple when it's done properly. When you have the dashboard, just like a car, you just go into the car and just drive the car. So many times we may take for granted what does it mean to build a car. So next, we're going to talk a bit about the limitation of outsourcing. I mean, while outsourcing has its benefit, there are certain things you can't really do with outsourcing. So, Lily, why don't we start with you? What are some of the big limitations of outsourcing where in
Okay.
tune we are unable to support or certain key function which we do not recommend to be outsourced?
Yes. Okay. So when I meet a client, and then I talk, what are the benefits and show them, then clients are usually very happy. It's like, oh my God, you are God sent, finally, you can help me to take care of all this pain. So I would also want to put the clients back to reality. Yeah. And I will always say that, outsourcing cannot solve all your problems. Okay, so that I don't paint a wrong picture to them that Indian come in, everything can counting. Yeah, so that is not the mentality. There is definitely limitations in outsourcing that we cannot provide, but if you have a finance department, you'll be able to have this access lah. So number one, yeah, at our end, we don't help you to collect your debts. We at InTune, we don't provide the credit collection function. Become along lah, yeah, help you to chase money from your customers. Okay, so why we don't do that is we believe that to be able to collect money from your customers, it takes relationships. Yeah, so if somebody from our office call up your customer, hello, your amount is overdue, please pay me. Some of these scenarios may happen. Yeah, it may say that I already told your salesman that I will be paying next week. Why are you calling me again? So number one, yeah. So we wouldn't know what are the promises that the sales staff have made to the client, and when we call, we would be in clash. Yeah. Number two, we don't have the relationship with the customer in order for us to collect the money. Collection is one big thing. Number two, ad hoc processes. So I realized that in SMEs, many times the bosses actually run the finance department at their convenience, especially processing payment. Right? When there is something to pay, they will say, "Hey, upload this for me. Upload this now. Upload this after this. Immediately tomorrow." So the payment function becomes ad hoc and as and when the boss wants it. Yeah. So an outsourcing company is very difficult to do work or do our finance work if things are ad hoc. For outsourcing to work, for our processes to work, we got to have schedules. We got to have timeline, calendaring. Monday we do what? Tuesday we do what? By 15th of the month we do what? By 30th of the month we do what? So it has got to be a planned process. So in a company where it is very kalam kabut, everything is ad hoc, outsourcing doesn't work. They need to have a dedicated staff that sits in their office and just only take instructions from the boss to pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. All these come from experience. Yeah. So maybe the third one, some things that we cannot do is if their operations is very volatile. Yeah, there are some industries that is not very suitable for outsourcing. So for example, in Tune, we aren't able to take a manufacturing client, or we aren't able to take maybe a property development because of the nature of their business. It's very complex, it's very fast moving, and it requires somebody in-house to actually control their costs, control their bill of materials, and they need to manage it like daily. Yeah. So this is a not suitable kind of industry for outsource, because outsource, we are not sitting in the same office. We have a schedule to do work. Yeah, we are shared resources, shared services. We share with different clients, so our ability to respond quickly, timely, and now is not there. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so these are some of the limitations, like some of the things that we cannot outsource. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Means you can hear from Lily, there's two extreme. One on one side is the ad hoc, on the other side is the highly complex. So basically, in Tune, we serve on the middle path where most of the SME are. Too ad hoc, too kalam kabut, usually you will notice that the SME cannot grow. Too specialized means they need very demanding service because of the nature of our batch processing, serving multiple clients. We aren't able to serve them. So I think this is where the bandwidth is in terms of the nature of our client. And of course, the next one is when the client is become too specialized, they usually use very, very advanced software like SAP or ERP system. And I think this is where Intune, because we generally serve the major market, we are unable to have two staff learn as this SAP for this client, another three staff learn ERP for that client. We are serving the majority using a cloud software, and I think this is where we are being very mindful that we can't be all things to all people, but we can be all things to most people, and we have business processes that work for most people. And for that, I'm going to let Max share with you. If you do get in tune to actually engage in tune, what can you expect then from Intune, given that we can't do those? Matt, why don't you share with our audience?
Okay, the three main core things is very important. So the firstly is on cost savings. So Intune outsourcing can result in cost savings for our clients and future clients by leveraging their expertise and economies of the scale. Intune can often provide financial service at a lower cost compared to maintain of the in-house finance department or in-house finance staff for the nowadays. Because most of like nowadays, if you're going to hire a very experienced, knowledgeable of finance person itself, also will cost so much of salary. They will ask a lot of salaries. So that's why if you're hired in house for Intune, you will cost savings. Secondly, is a timely and accurate of financially reporting. So Intune will ensure that the client will receive timely and accurate financial reports. They will generate regular financially statement, cash flow forecast, and other relevant reports to help the client track their financial performance and make the data driven decision. So the third last point is expert financial advice. In Intune, finance team will provide expert advice guidance to the client on the financial matters. They will help the client make informed decision regarding of the financial strategy, investment, cost management, and other financial aspect of the business.
Thank you very much. Lily, do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, yes, I would like to add on, right? So, Meg talk a little bit about the processes. So, I am very surprised. For example, I actually started this when I take on a new client. Usually, what we do is we will go in and understand the business and understand their current finance workflow. Okay, simple question. How do you run your finance currently? Ask simple questions like this. So from there, I realized that most business owners, they are not accountant, and then they are not SOP oriented. Yeah, they run finance based on what they know. If they are a cook, they love cooking, they love food, they open a restaurants, and they have to do finance lah, because doing business, you can't run away from finance, but their passion is really cooking. So their finance processes is like kelam kabut. I remember this very clear example. So this F&B client, they have a lot of petty cash, a lot of petty cash. I asked them, why do you keep so much petty cash? She said, oh, because we buy a lot of avocado and ice, and the supplier only take cash. Then I asked, how many years have you been doing business with them? Oh, these are our regular supplier. We have been doing business with them for the last 10 years. I said, have you ever asked for credit term? Not really to delay their payment, but it is more efficient, if we do payment processing every 2 weeks rather than paying every time, they come and deliver the avocado. Then the boss said, oh, I never thought of it. Yeah, we started this way 10 years ago, then I just continue the practice. So I went through a process of actually re-engineer the entire processes, and then talk to all the suppliers, convert them from cash suppliers to credit suppliers. Some even give 1 or 2 months compared to cash. More than happy, because they are very good paymasters. And as a result, the boss was so happy. He never knew that it can be done this way. So, so one of the major value add we do for our clients is once we go in, we will recommend process improvement even before we start becoming their finance department. We always believe that there is always a more efficient and a simpler way of running finance department that will be beneficial to us as your finance department and to bosses, as the owner of the business.
Thank you very much on that. And lastly, Matt, we have a case study for our client, right? So that they can
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Shall we do that? Let me just bring
Yeah.
on to the, yeah. Hey, why don't you bring us through the case study?
Okay, this case study is one of the company. Is the nature of the business is manufacturing of skin replacement for medical purpose. So the main pain point is the struggle for financial support. So firstly is on the increase of the workload and backlog. With a limited accounting staff, the company struggled to keep up with the volume of the financially transaction, resulting in a growing backlog of work. So this lead to the delay in the processing invoices, payments, and the financial reports for the past 6 months. So the second point is in inefficient process. Due to the lack of the sufficient staff, the company faces challenges in a critical process, leading to the inefficiency in financial operations. So this includes of the delays of bank recall, the inability to generate AR aging report, insufficient financial analysis, and incomplete audits on time. So the third point is on the lack of the timely financial information. Timely and accurate financial information is the key for the decision making, budgeting, and forecasting. Insufficient of staff causes delays in producing the financial reports, making it difficult for both shareholders and the management team to have up to date insight into the company financial performance.
So
I will pass to.
how do we help them?
Okay, I and Lily went to this particular company. So first we went and we will explain to them and understand about their pain points, what they're going through. The lucky thing is they are using our software, but the thing is the problem is they don't know how to generate and using their own stuff because of the staff to support to use and do the workflow. So once we understand, we go through all their statements, what is the backlog thing, and then we take over their financial matters, and we are doing for them, and we start doing their daily workflow and then the backlog as well.
Awesome. So yeah, SME owner, if you are outside there, you can always look for the two beautiful ladies, Mac and Lily. They are more than happy to give you a tarot card reading on your financial and give you some Panadol, some painkiller. I think sometimes it's the pain, you don't have to deal with it alone, and we are always here to help you to tackle some of your pain. So we are the specialists in doctors, and let us take care of your debit and credit. So let's wrap up today, Mac. Any final words to wrap up this evening before we kick off the live?
Okay, viewers, if you have a headache of finance or HR, please look for InTune Outsourcing. There will be Lily and me, Mac. So wherever you can call 018-288-2209. Don't forget, guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, as for me, the message to all SME business owners, okay, I understand statistically, right, in Malaysia, more than 90% of the businesses in Malaysia are small, medium businesses. So I would say that, do what you do best. You are a very good cook, go and open restaurant. If you are very good at building things, go and do your construction work. You are very good in IT, go and do your IT business. But most of the time, if you need help in finance and HR, which is an area of expertise which is not yours, this is where we can work with you, support you, so that SME can become large.
Thank you very much. And I think the two ladies already say what I wanted to say. All I'm saying is, SME business owner, you are not alone. I think that's the reason why me and Lily, we set up InTune, is because we hear your struggle, and based on our background and the years that we have been in this business, I think, Lily, we have been in this business for how many years?
16 years.
16 years. So we are actually very, very old. And how many clients have we served?
I think over the years, we have served over 400 clients in different industries.
So we have supported and given Panadols to 400 people. And SME owner, don't wait until it becomes stage 4 cancer. And they are clients that when they came and asked us to help them, it was so bad that the cancer was so bad, there's really nothing much we could do. And when you have IRB on your back and you have loads of debt, you don't know where to collect money. And I think that's when it breaks our heart. So as an owner, I want you to know you're not alone. And if you have this pain, come and talk to us. We promise you we are not expensive. We promise you a minimum of 40% saving. Come and talk to us and be free. And I think that's what Freedom Series is all about. With that, I want to wrap this evening with a video that talks about our packages. Have a look at it, and I see you again soon. Take care. Bye.
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 Do you have any problems on HR and finance matters? So you can't hire anyone that can help you to solve these matters? Well, InTune is the answer.
In delivering our finance and HR services, we have actually crafted and customized different packages for our clients in both the finance and the HR. So we have small, medium, and large packages for both our services. Perhaps I will start to explain what's in the small, medium, and large finance services first. A small finance services is very similar to hiring diploma or a certificate holder, where the person actually enters all the accounting documents like sales invoices, expenses, etc. into the accounting system, do the bank recon, close the monthly accounts at the end of the month to produce the financial reports for the clients. So that is small package. As we move to medium package, we do all that we do in a small package with an addition where we also help clients to do their daily finance matters like paying their suppliers, paying their rental, utilities, etc., repairing the payment voucher, and so on. The medium package in terms of the fee base is very similar to hiring perhaps a fresh accounting graduate. And we will also have finance meeting twice a year with the client, and the purpose is to go through the numbers with them, let them understand their financials, analytics, and giving them opportunity to to actually tweak their business accordingly. As we move to the large package of the accounting outsourcing, it is very similar to an outsourced financial controller. We will do all that we do in a small and medium package, but what is very unique, extra and value add in the large package is that you have access to a financial controller, a chartered accountant. So in our profession, the chartered accountant is at the highest level because of the experience, skills and qualification. Every month for 2 hours, you will be meeting your accountant to go through the numbers, your financial analysis, where she would also highlight risk areas for you, and then how to manage your businesses better, and also discuss about tax planning, etc., etc. It is like an outsourced FC, but at a very much reasonable fee or price. So between the small, medium and large, so the bigger the package, the bigger the fee, that's one. The more scope of work that we would be doing, more importantly, the involvement of the higher level management, i.e. the director level or the accountant level, will be more. In terms of service level agreement, our small turnaround time, SLA, is 10 days, medium is 2 days, and the large package is 1 day. What this means is that, for example, a large package, a request is being put through, so we will respond within 1 working day. This is how we actually crafted different packages, different pricing, different scope of work for our clients.